On this week's show, we join Jeff Johnston as he visits the Indian Grinding Stone State Park located near Pinegrove, California. This historic location has a great campground you can stay at while visiting the area. Jeff also found a nice little restaurant nearby where they served what he described as fantastic huevos rancheros for breakfast. Used RV sales are going through the roof, and if you're considering buying a pre-owned RV, be it a motorhome or towable, you should know what to look for. Mark Polk from RV Education 101 explains the things you should check and be aware of while shopping for a used RV before you plunk down that hard-earned money. While on the subject of used RVs, most RVs, especially those a few years old, usually are not equipped with rear cameras. But that's no problem, as today's camera systems are relatively easy to find and install, as our friend Jason Ciastko shows us as he installs one on Michelle's trailer. Later, we catch up with Yvonne Schmatter as she goes Mexican on us with a couple of easy-to-make south-of-the-border dips. Now, all you need is some tequila and corn chips, and it's officially party time. These stories and more on this week's RVing Today TV. Closed and Spanish captioning, where available, is sponsored by Forest River. Follow the river.
Today's RVing Today Quick Stop is Indian Grinding Rock State Historic Park and Campground located on State Highway 88 near Pinegrove, California, in the Highway 49 Gold Rush country. The small campground features 23 paved dry camp sites, some with pull-throughs, water standpipes, and a modern shower and flusher bathroom facility. Picnic tables and fire rings, used in season of course, are part of each campsite. Its curving accessed road and modest site sizes mean the park is limited to RVs 27 feet long or less. The campground is open all year round. We were there during the off-season and had few neighbors nearby, so things were quiet and calm throughout. Our Ram and Palomino camper combination was a fine fit in our campsite that overlooked the Grinding Rock meadow and displays. Chase Regional Indian Museum and historic Miwok Indian site is a short walk or drive from the campground. The broad meadow area incorporates reproduction Miwok structures, including the ceremonial roundhouse and a village with traditional bark houses. Its namesake Grinding Rock, a bed of marbleized limestone, features 1,185 grinding holes plus 365 petroglyphs. The Miwok Indians used the grinding holes to pound acorns and other seeds into flour to make useful food products or medicines. Acorns were an important part of the Miwok diet, and this place, with its ancient and abundant oak trees, was an important tribal gathering area. Hiking trails give visitors a chance to stretch their legs while learning about the local fauna and flora. The Chase Museum is a professional operation managed by California State Parks. Its displays illustrate the local Miwok Indian culture and history of the Grinding Rock area. Descriptive displays and historic or reproduction artifacts help tell the Miwok Indian story. It's not all good news, but it's part of the historic record. A hands-on demo area includes typical Miwok uses of animal and plant products, including a ceremonial rattle made from deer hooves. And of course, there's a gift shop with toys, souvenirs, and books available. Peaceful camping in a quiet, scenic location and a chance to learn more about the local native culture add up to a fun place to spend some time in the Sierra foothills. For more information about Indian Grinding Rock State Park, log on to our website at rvingtoday.tv. Beautiful place. And if you happen to be heading for this campground on a Sunday morning and you have a hankering for a really great breakfast, stop in the town of McCollum Hill, a little bit south of here on Highway 49, at the Renegade Winery. They only serve breakfast on Sunday mornings, but boy, is it great stuff. We happened to eat there the other day, and it was fantastic. So if you got a hankering, again, you're hungry on a Sunday morning, stop in Renegade Winery, McCollum Hill. You won't go wrong.
Aquachem toss-ins. So fast and easy to use, it could seem like a game. Aquachem, the most powerful odor control available and the #1 seller for over 50 years. Want more RVing today? Then visit rvingtoday.tv. Besides our weekly show and extended segments, you'll find additional stories and videos along with insightful information on what's new and what's happening around the world in RVing. From luxury RVs to unique camper vans, and from RVing with pets to RVing with kids. You'll find it all and more in rvingtoday.tv.
Hi, I'm Mark Polk with RV Education 101. Sometimes a used RV can be a great buy. Used RVs have already suffered the brunt of depreciation. Many are only lightly used at a good price, and you will more than likely have an affordable monthly payment. But on the other hand, a used RV could be a disaster if you don't know what to look for. Here are a few important checks to make prior to purchasing a used RV. #1 on my list is to check the RV thoroughly for water damage. Water damage is quite common on used RVs. There are several reasons for this, but the leading cause is seams and sealants on the RV flex and move until there's a small crack or opening that water can penetrate. If the previous owner did not inspect and reseal these seams and sealants, chances are there's some water damage. Another problem is water damage can be difficult to detect. All the seams and sealants on the RV roof and sidewalls need to be inspected. Indicators of leaks on the exterior are soft spots on the roof, cracked or separated sealants, and soft spots or what looks like bubbles on the sidewall of the RV where the fiberglass delaminates from the backing. Anywhere the manufacturer cut an opening in the roof or sidewalls is prone to water leaks. On the interior of the RV, you can detect water damage by signs of staining or discoloration, soft spots around windows, slide outs, inside cabinets, or on the floor. Water damage is expensive to repair, especially if it had time to spread. I would avoid buying a used RV that has water damage. I've looked at many used RVs we were considering purchasing and never made it past the water damage check. Getting past the water damage check is a good sign, and you can move on to the next item on my list, which is checking all the systems and appliances on the RV for proper operation. This check includes the water system, the LP gas system, the electrical system, and every appliance in the RV. If you are buying it from an RV dealer and they tell you the RV will go through a pre-delivery inspection or PDI prior to delivery, let them know you want to know what items are included in the inspection and anything they find wrong during the inspection. If you are buying from a private owner, any inspections conducted will be on you. If you are not comfortable performing these inspections, hire a qualified RV inspector to perform the inspections for you. If for any reason the owner does not cooperate with any of these inspections, I would not purchase the RV. Remember, there is no warranty, and replacing almost any appliance in the RV can cost $1,000 or more. This can add up quickly. Motorized RVs with an engine and transmission and rear axle need to be inspected too. If you're not comfortable inspecting the driveline, try to find an RV inspector who's qualified to do this. You want to inspect the underside for evidence of leaks, check the condition of the belts, radiator hoses, and heater hoses. Check all of the fluid levels to make sure they are topped off and the fluid is clean. Ask the owner for maintenance records you can review. You need to drive the RV before you buy it. When you drive an RV, check the engine, transmission, and brakes for proper operation. Turn the windshield wiper on, check the air conditioner, the heat, the radio, and other controls on the dashboard. It is usually easy to tell if an RV was taken care of or if it was neglected. I would avoid any RV that shows obvious signs of neglect. Do not forget the tires. It's not uncommon for RV tires that look okay to be very old. Tires that are 6 years old or older need to be inspected by a tire professional. If there is visual evidence of weather cracking or checking caused by exposure to the elements, it's likely the tires need to be replaced. This can be expensive, especially if it's a motorhome. Make sure the used RV you're considering meets your needs. Is it large enough or small enough? Do you like the floor plan arrangement? Is there adequate storage inside and outside? Are there enough sleeping arrangements? Are the holding tanks large enough for the way you plan to use the RV? These are just a few considerations. Think about how you plan to use the RV and make sure the used RV you are considering to purchase fits the bill. If it's a travel trailer or fifth wheel trailer, do you have the vehicle that can safely tow it? Buying another tow vehicle can be an expensive proposition. Check all of the trailer weights and make sure your tow vehicle is rated to safely tow it before you purchase the RV. If everything checks out, it's time to discuss price. Some RV owners owe more on the RV than it's worth. They need to pay the loan off and they want to sell it for the payoff amount, at a minimum. Don't overpay for a used RV. There is an RV addition to the National Automobile Dealer Association, or NADA, guide. This is the appraisal guide most RV dealers use to determine used RV prices and values. The online NADA guide offers low retail and average retail pricing on used RVs. Prices in the guide assumes everything on the RV works as it should and the RV is in good shape. I always tell people you wouldn't buy a new RV for full retail price, so you shouldn't pay full retail price for a used RV. Ask what the price is and try to negotiate the price closer to the low retail price in the NADA guide. If the RV needs new tires or other repairs, ask if the seller is willing to replace the tires and make the repairs, or lower the selling price so you can purchase new tires and make the repairs. If everything on the RV works properly and you can get the price somewhere between low and average retail, it's probably a fair deal for both you and the seller. Happy camping.
Off-the-road adventure camping to luxurious full-time RVing and everything in between, Forest River has the RV to fit your needs, budget, and outdoor lifestyle. To see our full line of trailers and motorhomes, visit forestriverinc.com. Forest River. Begin the journey.
Welcome. I'm Michelle Fontaine, and I've been an RVer for 4 years. The one thing I didn't have a lot of confidence in was backing up the trailer. So I got a backup camera from RecPro. This camera is under $300, has a 7-inch full-color high-resolution image. It's a digital wireless camera. So let's get it installed. Most new RVs come pre-wired for a backup rear camera. Today, my friend Jason Ciastko is going to help me. He is going to install the RecPro camera.
I'm going to start taking this apart slowly, piece by piece, just to see what we have. Trying not to lose any of these little bitty screws. There's 4 screws that looks like it's holding this plate on. Inside of here, I have a power cord and a couple more pieces of wiring. So this will be the power cord that the new unit will plug into, which ties into the coach lights. One thing I did notice, and this is always good to double check before you get too far in, the plugs are different than on the RecPro. So what we're going to have to do is snip these off, shorten the RecPro, and we're just going to put it together with a pair of butt splices. Since the wire is so small, I'm just using regular red butt splices. Safety note, make sure there's no power on these. You don't want to short it out to blow a fuse. Alrighty, well what I just did is I snipped the end off because they're not standardized. and crimped on the Rec Pro connector. I do like the Rec Pro connector. It's got a positive twist, so when we put it on, you screw it on there, you don't have to worry about just the friction of it falling off. So just use caution doing this. This wire is really small and can be easily snagged and or accidentally cut. So take your time, work slow, work smart. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be mounting it up here. I'm actually going to just use a Sharpie here and mark out where I want it with the camera on, still on the mount, just so we have a better idea. So I'm just going to put a couple quick marks right up top here so we know where we want to go with it. I want to be able to have some nice gentle bends in it and not have pinched wires. So going right about here will work. Okay, I'm going to try to square this up by eye as best I can. There is an adjustment in here, so I will try to center these. There, I'm about centered. There we go with that. Now comes the fun part where I need to have about 7 hands. Yeah, would be a decent do-it-yourselfer project with some basic tools. Now I'm gonna work on getting the camera mounted on here. Put the power plug on, screw that down so we can make sure we get everything wrapped up nicely. This is the antenna wire. It's got a little SMA antenna that will go on it. Then we'll get that worked out here in a couple minutes. Camera mounted. And then once we get the antenna on it here, we'll be going up to the cab to get it actually sync with the Bluetooth. You'll need to keep your ladder here because there is a sync button on the back. The U bracket that's on it right now probably isn't needed. So what we're going to do is comes with some nice super duper double stick tapey. We're going to put that on there. Peel the backing off the double stick tape. Now remember, this is probably going to be a one-shot deal. So let me know where you want me to put it. Hold some pressure on it. And Michelle now has a Rec Pro backup camera. This camera, at least on this unit itself, her Grand Design, when the marker lights or the headlights are on, the camera will be powered on that. She can have her headlights on. Me personally, when I'm towing, I always have my headlights on for safety of myself as well as visibility for other people. So this is great. She now has a camera behind her to help cover those blind spots on there. Michelle reaches over and turns off her headlights right now. You'll see the camera will go blank. There we go.
Thank you, Jason.
You're welcome.
This has really increased my confidence, both on the road because it eliminates blind spots in back of you, and of course, backing up.
Someone once said, the camping doesn't really start until the RV awning comes out. Whoever said that really knew what they were talking about. Carefree of Colorado, celebrating 45 years of RV awning innovation. For more information, visit our website at carefreeofcolorado.com. When you have a Truma AquaGo instant hot water system, you can expect to make a lot of new friends. Be sure and visit our website at rvingtoday.tv and enter the Rec Pro Spring Makeover Contest. One lucky winner will get a $2,500 store credit for anything in the Rec Pro catalog. Rec Pro, your one-stop destination for anything to restore or upgrade your RV. And now, let's catch up with Yvonne and see what she's cooking up this week.
La 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 bam ba ba dee doo ba ba da ba ba da. Oh, hello there. You're just in time to learn how to make 2 fantastic dips. Guacamole and its easy companion pico de gallo. Or for you fellas wanting some manly recipes, pico de gallo. I call these companion recipes because the majority of ingredients are shared. That makes it easy to chop once and enjoy two different flavor sensations. We're going to start with the pico de gallo because it needs to sit a little while for the flavors to meld. Then we'll conquer the guacamole. Easy peasy, and it is so good. I came across this pico de gallo recipe when I was visiting South Padre Island, Texas a number of years ago. In fact, I was in the grocery store and they had a lot of jalapeno peppers and they had tomatoes and cilantro all gathered together. And there was a fellow in the produce section and I asked him, what would one do with all of these ingredients together? And he said, of course, you would make pico de gallo. Pico de gallo is really like a fresh salsa, and he gave me his wife's recipe, which is really super easy. So I'm going to show you how to do it. The base of it is tomato. Yum. So what we're going to do is we're going to just put some fresh tomato in a bowl. Now, I'll tell you that a lot of people tell you to take out the seeds, the middle part of the tomato, but I like it nice and juicy, so I leave those in. That looks pretty good. Yeah, it's just about 3 small tomatoes. Great. We're going to put in some cilantro. And a little bit of onion. Yep, just like that. And some peppers. Just a touch of salt. Mix it together. And that's it. That is so simple. Pico de gallo. Yo. We're going to set it aside so the flavors can meld, and we're going to make our guacamole. Now, guacamole is really easy. I'll tell you, I used to go to the produce section, buy my avocados, and pick up one of those little packages of dehydrated spices, come home, smush up my avocado, pour the spice packet in, mix it up, and let it hydrate. It was pretty good. But once a long time ago, I went to a restaurant called the Flying V in Tucson, and they had a guacamole at your table cart. It was there and then I saw how absolutely simple it was, and the flavor, oh, head and shoulders above the package. So let me show you, it's super, super delicious. Here's what we're going to do. We've got our tomatoes, just like we had in our pico de gallo. Right in like so. Some of our pepper, again, not too much. We're going to add some onion, just like that, and some cilantro. Up to now, it's identical to pico de gallo. Next, we're going to add fresh chopped garlic. Put that in just like so. And I'm going to mix it about. Pico de gallo with garlic, right? And our avocado. So we're going to cut our avocado like so, twist it. Ooh, that's a beauty. I'm going to take my pit out. By the way, it is not true that if you leave your pit in your made guacamole, it will keep it from getting brown. Actually, citrus juice like a lemon or a lime will do that, but not the pit. All right. I'm going to take this part of the avocado out. Use my fork. I'm going to smush it up. The second half of my avocado I'm going to take out, but I'm not going to smush it too much. I'm going to leave it a little bit chunky. Sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. We'll see how it goes. The last thing we're going to do before our guacamole is actually ready to serve is we're going to add some salt. Now, you might not want to add salt, but you really need to add salt. It enhances the flavor. Just a little bit right in like that. Okay, I just want to give you a little tip on the serranos or the jalapeno peppers. They're of course pretty spicy, but when you cut them open and you slice them in half, they have seeds and white. Now that's where most of the heat resides. So you can moderate the heat by moderating how many seeds and how much white you leave in. I remove it all because what I want is a spicy flavor, but I don't want it to really burn my mouth. So this is what it looks like. All right, so the last thing we're going to do before we eat, so we're going to put these in some pretty little bowls. Excellent. And our pico de gallo. These are terrific appetizers to enjoy at happy hour around the campfire. Add to tacos or burritos, or as a quick side to morning eggs or a topper on your fresh catch. I'm RV Cooking Showy Van, wishing you delicious dips, 2 of them right here, and many friends to share with.
For more information on anything you saw on this week's episode, visit our website at rvingtoday.tv. This has been another fun production.